I don't know if you can really stop the demand unless you stop the people who are manufacturing it. And the only sure way to do that is by having harsher punishments, putting them behind bars. That's gonna be an incentive for people not to manufacture child pornography. If you don't have the manufacturers in there, then you're not gonna have the people who want to possess it. We just do not see our offenders have any prison time. They usually will get 36 months probation. We have 60 other task forces throughout the United States that investigate these types of crimes just like we do. And our sister state, Arizona, they have a sentencing guideline that if one person is caught with a video of child pornography, they will do a minimum of 25 years in prison. Yeah, I think there are signs. First of all, as society, we need to be open to it. We need to know that there is a possibility that even this very nice woman or very nice man could be trading and viewing child pornography. So we need to have that open mind. Second thing that you look for is people who are spending an enormous amount of time on the computer, and that they're very secretive on their computer time. Sometimes they'll have passwords or they'll put encryptions so that their other family members can't see. Those are sometimes telltale signs. Also, you know, sometimes people who have a strong addiction to pornography in general, sometimes they will start looking at child pornography too. So there's two theories on that. There's a big theory that people start into regular pornography and they get so into it that pretty soon it's not doing enough for them, and then they start going into more bizarre type of pornography. They go into bestiality, and then they end up in child pornography. That's one theory, and we surely have arrested people that say that is what has happened to them. But then we also have another theory. There's theories out there where people who are doing this, they have a sexual attraction to children. We've always had sex offenders in our community. I think what the internet has done is it's made it very accessible to find like-minded people, so that they can egg each other on and kind of strengthen that addiction or that perversion to look at child pornography. And so there always is an element that these people are sexually attracted to children. Now, whether they became sexually attracted to children because they were looking at so much pornography and that they kind of geared their mind towards that, or they already had something inside them that already made them more susceptible to become attracted to children. Okay. You know, there probably are. I mean, I've worked sex crimes for 29 years, and you know, some of the classic signs of children who have been sexually abused is age regression, becoming frightened of certain people, of being more clingy, who start wetting the bed or start having behavioral problems. Those could be signs of a child being sexually abused. On child pornography, you know, it's hard because we are in a society where children are used to having people take out their phone and take pictures of them. I mean, I have a cute little, 2-year-old niece, and when I went to take out my phone to take a picture of her at Easter time, she just looked, I mean, it was almost like she was posing for me, you know, just kind of smiling, because she's used to people pulling out their phones and filming. And so we're in an environment where children are used to being photographed. And I think that what we have to be careful of, and what we have to teach our children, is that that is fine, that people, your families are taking pictures of them, but if they start taking pictures of them when they're naked, that's a problem. I do know some of the kids we've rescued that they had no idea that they were being filmed. Okay, they knew they were being sexually assaulted. They knew that that there was a camera, but a lot of times these offenders will say, "I'm only taking photographs of this picture on your wall because I really like it, or I really like this blanket, or I just want to see your face," or something like that. They don't know that they're focused in on their genitalia. How you protect your kids? Lots of things, lots of ways. First of all, if you're going to give your child a cell phone, please, please, please look at every app they have on their phone. And if you're not familiar with it, become familiar with it. And even download it on your phone so that you can see what your child is able to see. If your child plays online games, don't let them have that in their bedroom. Bring it out into a public area so that as you're doing dishes or you're making dinner or you're reading a book, you can watch your child play those games. Because we have seen quite a few children be contacted online and been instructed to do sexual things. And these kids will do it. And most of the time the parents are shocked that their child would even do it. But the reason they did it is because that person told them that they were going to put a virus in their game, or that they were going to do something to hurt the child or whatever. And so, you got to remember, these children's brains are not fully developed, and so they're easy to be manipulated. And so those are some things you can do. The third thing to do is, kind of ask yourself, does my child need a phone at a certain age? I know that, of course I'm old. I managed to go through life without having to have a cell phone. And I think that we as parents need to be a little bit more, looking at that, because in a way we're giving them a device where bad people can contact them, and we're not around to save them. It's like giving your child life. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but you really need to think in those terms, because we deal with a lot of children after the fact. And when I talk with parents, they always say, "I had no idea that this was happening." And so really kind of question, does my child need to have a phone? And if they do, you surely could get a phone that doesn't have internet service, or you can restrict the internet service that they have, so that they can only call, out. And you can also block numbers so that people can't be contacted by spoofing and random texts that are going out to kids. And so, that's ways you can protect your kids too. And then the other thing to do is to make sure you always, keep that open communication, and let your children know that if they make a mistake, like if they took pictures of themselves and sent it, thinking that it was not a big deal, or because they felt pressured, let them know that, I don't want to say let them know it's okay, but let them know that it's okay that they made that mistake, so that you can help them. Because what we do see also is that when children do this, they get very afraid, because the predator on the other end starts blackmailing them and starts telling them that they want them to perform more sexual acts. They want to bring younger children in to be filmed with them. And you have kids sexually acting out on other kids. And so I think if you keep those open communications and let your child know, it's okay that you made a mistake, but I'm going to help you become safer. That's going to help. We're in a society where we like, we like to take selfies, pictures and whatnot and post them on social sites. What parents need to be aware of is that if you're going to post your child on your Facebook page or, a Twitter account or whatever, make it private. Make it private so that only the people that you want them to see, your friends to see, that's the only ones that will see it, because it is not uncommon for a predator to go out and look on the internet and surf all little kids that have blonde hair that are between the ages of 3 and 5. And they'll go out searching and it will pull up pictures that are on your social site. And you don't want someone being sexually aroused by looking at your child. And so I would encourage parents to, number one, be cautious of what you're taking pictures of. And two, if you are going to take pictures, make sure that you're not sharing them to the public, that you have just a small group of family and friends that you intend for them to see that picture. I would want you to know that it's real. And I can tell you Utah has a high rate of child pornographers, and I would tell them to know who's in your neighborhood, know who is that you're letting your child be around. The other thing I would tell them to do is to be cautious. I think sometimes we get caught up that a offender or a predator should look a certain way. And I can tell you from experience that in all my years of doing this, I am not surprised anymore about who we arrest. I have seen upstanding citizens, people that hold a lot of power in a community, and I have also seen people who are homeless. There is no one that is immune to this. And so don't in your head have an idea of what you think a predator should look like, because that will also set you up and not be able to see those warning signs. Second thing I would stress is that if you start noticing some changes in your child's behavior, or your child doesn't want to be around a certain person, pay attention to that and see, try to figure out what's going on. And then the third thing that I would stress is that if you have a family member who is into child pornography, they are not going to get help by you remaining quiet. You do need to bring it out into the open, because most of the predators are not going to come and tell us they have a problem. And I can tell you that you want it to stop sooner than later, because this is a very dark secret that they do not want anyone to know. And so if you do know about it, I would urge you to contact us and encourage your family member to get help and to be open about it, because predators are master manipulators, and they are able to minimize things like you can't believe. And if you think about that, they would have to, because the videos of child pornography are so horrendous that they would have to compartmentalize it so well in order to be able to live with themselves. The best way to get involved and to help us is to reach out to your local legislators. All of us have a representative and a senator, and I would encourage you is to reach out to them and make an appointment with them and have you share your feelings on this topic, and urge them to let's try to get this under control. Let's see if we can make a difference and lower the level of child pornographers in our state.